everyone. Welcome again. This is No Bullshit Gaming Podcast 2.5 Gamers session number 10. We're discussing the latest news, fun stuff, and dropping some knowledge. Sometimes, this can feel like a 4 a.m. conference discussion live. And that's how it is. Okay, so let's dive in and try to enjoy it. Hey, welcome guys. Welcome Jakub and welcome Felix.
Hello, Mate, and the Powerpuff Girls.
Oh yeah, well, yeah, of course. Oh, wait.
Are you dialing in for Mobile Beach Conference, mate?
Oh yeah, of course. One second, Do I look like Jakub now? I hope so. No. There you go. Okay, jokes aside. No.
How is GDC going, Maciej?
Perfect. Yeah, a lot of people actually reach out and asked for for a meeting. Obviously, I'm at home, and all my LinkedIn fake news and clickbait posts were pretty efficient. Oh, but jokes aside.
There's rules against child labor, right?
Well, that's what I heard. But what I found out is that my daughter is way more popular than I am. So from now on, I'm going to use her from time to time.
If it works, use it, right?
Yeah, exactly. If it works. No, but I think she with the VR headset, that was super funny. I think she joined it as well. But how's your week? Looking forward to Istanbul, Felix?
Oh, very much. Yes, it's going to be exciting next week.
Yeah. That's why I brought these Powerpuff Girls up. So you know what's going to happen next week.
Nice. Do you want to do the agenda?
Of course. So we're going to talk about Netflix boosts mobile games approach with the acquisition of Boss-Fight Entertainment. We're going to talk about KRAFTON signs long-term cooperation with Solana Labs. In-game apps. I can't speak to them. I'm not sure what's going on. In-game ads are getting more misleading, sexist, and misogynistic. And crypto investor Katie Haun raises $1.5 billion, the largest debut in crypto.
Female VC.
And female VC. What the fuck? Nice. And then we're going to talk about some pre-soft launch activities, marketability tests, and more. So let's dive in. So let's start with the Netflix, because Netflix is very, very popular topic of Mr. Jakub Remiar over here. We discussed yesterday how Netflix announced three new games that are coming to the platform, and amazing discussion with Jakub.
Not amused, I would say.
Yeah.
Those are from Pickpock, which is a mobile game developer, but those are not
games.
really free-to-play games.
Yeah, because they don't have the monetization there. But back to the acquisition. So Netflix revealed they acquired US-based free-to-play mobile developer Boss-Fight Entertainment. I've never heard of this guy before. But these guys, founded the company in 2013 and actually co-founded by 3 former Zynga employees. Oh, okay. Boss Dungeon was their best-known game, which I know now. Who are they? And following the acquisition, the studio will continue to operate independently across 3 locations: Allen, Austin, and Seattle. So more acqui-hires for Netflix. So they are definitely taking this seriously.
Yeah, this definitely sounds like acqui-hire to me. Doesn't seem like I remember the Boss Dungeon game.
Next games was the same thing.
Yeah, but those are that make much more sense in a way that Next Games will at least really, really familiar with working with IPs, which for Netflix is, of course, like the way to go here. But this is more of a, I guess, acqui-hire that was on the market, I would say, because I don't see any other connection there.
Well, look, they don't have the
share price since the news is down almost 2%. I'm wondering if that's connected to the news or is just a broader market trends.
Well,
somebody's listening to me on the stock market.
Yeah, well, Mr. JR here is definitely not the bigger fan of the
this strategy.
Netflix game.
Can you explain what you hate about it?
It doesn't make sense. Like they are trying to recreate another Apple Arcade fail or what? Like, tell me where this is going. Like, do you really think that these kind of subpar mobile games gonna attract more customers to your Netflix app or retain them more when you're trying to compete with Disney Plus or Amazon? Does this bring you the edge when the new Lord of the Rings series come out in September?
I think that they are only a Wordle hit away. Like you need one hit, and then all the troubles will be behind them. But getting a hit in this market, I do agree. It's not like a direct science, but what they're trying to do now, I guess, is assembling a team that will improve their odds of getting a hit. But this is a hits-driven business.
I know, but this sounds to me like the same strategy that Amazon did. Just like throw more money and people at it, and somehow it will miraculously solve itself. Didn't happen, didn't work. Same thing for Apple.
Yeah, but Apple is slightly different, I think. As I mentioned yesterday, with Netflix, and I know you're going to say I try to find logic behind this where it's not, obviously, but I think as soon as as much as they want to start adding more games, this is going to be again like content heavy, so they need to start somewhere with these shitty games. I'm sorry guys, I respect every game you put there, but still most probably not going to play any of them. Still, you need to start somewhere, and they already announced it. They want to move forward, and this is again like a sign of them taking this seriously. They want to do it right.
But honestly, like I don't even care about the quality of the games. Like the games could be excellent, to be honest, but those are premium games. You don't retain with these. You retain with free-to-play mobile games. They have better retention than normal premium games. People play more Clash of Clans than they pay Witcher 3. Why? Because the game is built like that to keep them in.
And also because Witcher 3 is a very poor game. I told you that a couple of times.
You know what to do.
Remo, do you think Netflix would earn more money or have a bigger multiple or a bigger market cap if they just focused on getting these people to make free-to-play games and just publishing it under Netflix?
But even from the standpoint that you want to retain your customers in the app, like build a free-to-play game, or I don't know, just tone down the monetization itself. But the mechanics need to be free-to-play because those are all built on retention. Retention is king there. Like there's no other metric that you need to do there first. Premium games and the games that they are currently building, they don't care about retention at all. And they're building it again as an Apple Arcade catalog. I don't see the point here.
Well, because they want to, if the premise here is if you already watched all the series, all the shows there, then what you're going to do? Play games. Well,
because imagine that, let's say you're playing your favorite Netflix game, and it's being pumped up by content every month, and you return to it, and there's still like content, and you retain, and you progress through it. You don't really spend money in it, but you play it because you only care about engagement. This could work, I think.
But nobody said they won't do it. That's the thing. Nobody said that.
But they're pumping out premium games.
Okay, but that's the first stage. They hired like 15 senior execs from the industry. Now they're buying studios. Why do you think like this is the end game? So this is still
not saying this is the end game, but why then like assigning these projects for premium games? Why then already don't work in this already?
How do you know they don't work in this?
So why do you then lose time with working on these subpar premium games?
Because you need to start somewhere. You need to launch content. Why? So what?
Those things don't work like you think. People that make premium games cannot just switch immediately to okay, we'll do this small premium Monument Valley and then we'll do World of Warcraft in the meantime. That doesn't work like that, man.
Sure, that's why they acquired like 2 free-to-play studios.
Okay, let's see. But still.
Bottom line is Netflix market cap is today $169 billion. Like as a force to be reckoned with, that is a war chest and a half. If they need to pivot a couple of times and take 5 years, they can do it.
If Disney Plus won't crush them in those 5 years.
That's true. That's very true. I'll give you that. I'll give you that much. Should we move on?
Every time you say Netflix, Jakub is triggered.
Every
it's
time
a good discussion. Like it's a good discussion.
The share price goes down.
That's amazing. Love
All
it.
right, let me read the next one because I'm actually quite thrilled about this one, and I think it's actually quite important, especially since the fact that I have lost about 50% of my money I put into Solana. So, and that news is, of course, that everyone's favorite gaming company of in the world, dare I say, but not really, KRAFTON. Everyone knows them from making PUBG.
That's more company.
Yesterday announced they're signing a long-term business agreements with Solana, Solana Labs, to support the design and marketing of blockchain games and services. So Solana, of course, is a crypto company.
Nice.
And cryptocurrency.
I can see my Solana, you know,
It's a protocol, isn't it?
assets went a bit up.
Yeah.
Since,
I mean, I still bought in at
since they announced it.
132, so, you know, I'm still down a fair bit of money.
Yeah. Nice, okay. Sorry. Yeah,
So the reason I personally think this is quite important is kind of going back to what I said on last podcast about distribution. And like right now, there's a battle royale, like who will win or which will be the premium like cryptocurrency that will power most of these crypto games that are being made right now. Will it be Avalanche? Will it be Solana? Will it be Ethereum? But like
Ethereum, not so much.
Yeah, exactly. But like, interesting thing is a big like blue chip gaming company like this signing with Solana is a huge stamp of approval. And at the end of the day, the chain that has the most projects on it, they will win. And that's why I think this is extremely important news. Probably actually one of the most important news we've seen in the crypto world for a couple of weeks.
But it's still a bet. You know.
Yeah, 100%. Absolutely.
Like the thing is that Solana can just go completely underwater. Some new protocol takes over, and you know you're completely out.
That's
of
going to
the
happen
picture.
for sure. That's going to happen for sure. But Solana now looks like the best solution at the moment.
Wouldn't say so.
At least. Well, you know.
Let's see.
Really.
Let's see.
And
like
what would you say so,
one
Mr.
thing
Crypto Skeptic?
Add to this news is that let's talk about PUBG New State that KRAFTON did, and that didn't really go very well. That I must say, which is their new PUBG game that didn't really
It wasn't
make it.
wasn't published by KRAFTON. It was some other.
It is sitting under KRAFTON account if I see it right here.
Well, let me check because I'm definitely not sure.
Yeah, but just saying that I think they have problems growing somewhere now in a way that creating another instance of PUBG won't help you. That's like, you know, each subsequent Candy Crush will bring you less, which seems that immediately the second one didn't really fly well. So I'm guessing they're trying to grow into some kind of other direction here, but I still wouldn't be sure as like, Solana is the way that will, you know, be the next. I still think we're in this kind of R&D phase that everybody is trying to figure out the most smoothest transition from a user to get onto a chain wallet and like all the big friction that's currently in the market. And people are just kind of betting on these horses. And by the end of the year, probably 90% of those horses will die on the track. So we'll see.
Actually, I have a follow-up question for the both of you. I actually looked up something. Since the start of the year, how many NFTs related to gaming do you think have been traded like average every day since the start of this year?
Average?
Yeah, average a day,
10,000.
Problem is that people are whitewashing this a lot. Pretty much a lot of companies are having people that are there trading between themselves to increase the transaction volume.
Okay,
so
but despite that,
better.
it might be true, but I believe in it. But give me a number.
Yeah, nobody cared about your answer. Give me the number. No bullshit. No bullshit podcast. Come on, dude.
What do you want to hear? Like a bullshit number of like how much NFTs are traded currently?
No, no bullshit. Yeah, take a guess.
Mate said 10,000.
Yeah.
10,000. That's a super small.
Okay. Might be.
1,000 a day.
Ah, haha. There you go.
1,000 a day.
Yeah.
Super small.
That's
okay.
Still very niche, huh?
Yep. Beginning.
For the whole market.
Yeah. For gaming, 1,000 NFTs are being traded every day, bought and sold every day.
Definitely more, I think.
Well, in gaming, so if
only
you...
gaming,
yeah,
only gaming.
Only
Yeah.
gaming.
I'm talking gaming but look at the cats that's being traded on the Axie marketplace.
Cats.
All right,
Killing
fact
me every
check me.
time
Fact
you say
check me
that.
after the show.
You're killing me every time we say that. So one correction, it's of course the PUBG news state is KRAFTON. I was referring to PUBG Mobile, which is Tencent, obviously. So
Yeah.
and they are crushing the new state by a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can move forward. We can stay with crypto, and then I will end it up with the amazing article which came out recently.
Okay. So I can take this one. Katie Haun, if I pronounce it correctly, then butcher it completely, raised 1.5 billion, which is the largest the debut fund ever by a female VC, and it's a crypto one, actually. If I understand correctly, she left before Anderson Horowitz, the famous fund, and then this is the largest initial fund ever raised by a solo female founding partner. And she is, of course, very excited to dip into the Web3 new era.
Yeah. Well, looks like a lot of money. She definitely needs to prove a lot with this race.
If I understand, there's not that much mention of gaming or something. It's more like a Web3 kind of more generalistic approach to crypto, if I understand this correctly.
Doesn't Web3 right now just mean gaming? Because that's usually what's at the forefront of these like new trendy things. Like it's usually always first gaming.
Do you remember what Nico? Do you remember what Nico
Exactly,
said about Web3?
Mm.
It's more like the whole bubble of everything, basically technology, gaming, and NFTs and everything. I would say.
But this is pretty big compared to like all the other
It's super
investment.
big.
Yeah.
Oh man.
1 + 1 in crypto always equals $1 billion.
Yeah. Without a doubt. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just kind of waiting like where the market will top then, like with these all these investments and everything because we still don't have anything to show for like the you don't hear about companies making so much revenue or like having so much users and pretty much the results articles. We always just hear about the investment articles. So I'm still wondering when this kind of a Web3 bubble is gonna pop.
But did you hear about like a Griffin fund, then Makers Fund, like raising like 750 makers, I think 500 or 600. Then like it's Anderson Horowitz again, like 500 million. So it's like so much money out there at the moment. It's crazy.
That is
sloshing around.
But it's chasing so few opportunities. Like there aren't that many good like crypto investment opportunities if you look more closely into it.
Well, of course, but if you have like unlimited cash, what would you do that? You will buy a ticket into the lottery, as you always say.
Yeah, of course. There's nothing else to do here.
There you go. So that's why there is that's the best time to start a gaming company.
Should we?
Which we discussed with our special guest in our like a new segment, which is going to be live next week. So keep your eyes and ears open. And there is the last news.
Let's step down from Mount Olympus and talk about something a bit closer to all of us.
Yeah, exactly. So that in-game ads are getting more misleading, sexist, and whatever else, like says the Mr. Meretzky. And that was a GDC opening session. So ads for Gardenscapes, Merge Mansion, Lily's Garden, their contemporaries.
All the right culprits.
Yeah, amazing.
Man, some of the ads I've had to ban, especially in Q4 this year, it was like, it's just ads like for like Lilith games and stuff like, and some of it is like, oh, a woman shows a man a pregnancy test and he like kicks her off a boat and
rides into the sunset.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like, it's so sad because it gets a lot of clicks, I'm sure.
Yep.
And I want to hear Matti's input on this. But the sad truth is that it's just a mirror of like darkest corners of humanity, because basically what human wants is like a mirror. And this is what humans want because that's what converts the best.
Exactly. So this like Mr. Meretzky was a gaming consultant who worked in all the AAA companies like Blizzard, King, Disney, and EA, and whatever else. I mean, he called on ad regulators and platforms like Google, Apple, and Facebook to stamp out misleading ads. This will never happen. Never. Facebook said already multiple times they're already like doing something against this. Last year, until today, nothing happened. Because why? They are making money out of it, and they will be, so it's never going to happen. Again, Google, same thing, Apple, same thing. And as Felix said, this is exactly what players want to see. You know, all these
controversial ads. Yeah.
Controversial ads. That's what everybody wants to see. The same thing with the ants that we discussed on like the third session or the third podcast. Like, so hilarious. Something connected to the gameplay? Not at all. Nobody cares.
But you make quite a lot of creatives, right, Maciej? Like you're in your team, right? Yeah. Like, do you guys on purpose make some that are controversial on purpose?
Yeah, I make controversial ads on purpose and hilarious and humorous on purpose as well. Trying to stay away from producing fake ads completely, but try to do like a fake ad which is connected to the gameplay. Because, yeah, I know Dream Games do this really, really well. And why you shouldn't try to, you know, maximize your marketing efforts and like squeeze the efficiency here and there, even if you are, you know, producing slightly misleading ads. Nobody cares.
Do you have any,
some more, some less.
Do you have any metrics that you could share, like roughly how much better it is? Like if you do a misleading ad, let's say, like is it 20% better CTR? Is it 1% better CTR? Like how much better is it?
The thing is, like nobody cares about CTR. You know, if you don't buy, anything in a grocery shop with CTR. you care about the ROAS afterwards. So this can decrease the CPI quite heavily, and this is something that I have on my slides on the in next week Deconstructor of Fun Istanbul event, which I am showing like 3 different ads from the same game and 3 different CPIs and then ROAS as well, and retention numbers, because misleading ads have a lower retention but also lower CPI. But eventually, you know, if you just try to like acquire as many people as possible, many players as possible, then you don't care about the CPIs. You know, like afterwards there will be some whales who will pay for the whole campaign, even though, you know, like everything else is trash.
Yeah, and the whole backlash, of course.
Yeah, and of course, I mean, you know, that's something that you need to
get accustomed to.
Yeah, as well. But you know, like the problem with Facebook is like you have all the comments, shares, and everything under the creative, and even if they hate you, it's still a positive sign for Facebook because it's amount of comments.
Because
getting
Facebook
into the auction.
Fine-tuned towards polarizing content.
Exactly.
As the whistleblower story we heard.
Exactly. So nobody cares if it's hate or not. If they don't, X out of that creative, it's still taking as a positive feedback.
And the sad truth is as well, it's like, it's my ass as an admon person. It's usually us as like the publisher of the ads. We get the crap for it. Yeah. Like not like Facebook, like Google, or the people who are like advertising the games.
Exactly.
I've seen emails where people write long thing about how their daughter is seeing like something misogynistic or something. You just have to apologize. And then they think it's you. And it's like, that's not how it works. It's programmatic. But, you know, me as an admon person, I'm the one like who has to deal with it. It's, stop it, Maciej. Please.
Oh, come on. Well, I would stop, but then I care about the performance, and if it performs, and you know, obviously, like there's very thin ice, but I still try to be somewhere in the middle and not like being like too misleading, but also trying to show at least something from the game actually.
Yeah, I think it's more of a like I completely understand Mr. Meretzky rant here. But it's more of a, sign of times. Like times have changed so much, and nobody can do about it. Like if this is the thing that works in this environment, so what? You're gonna, be completely destroyed by the competition. Like they won't care anyway.
But like this is exactly the content you will see GDC, like crying loud about how the market is really, shifted and going in the wrong direction. Of course, I mean, So what?
Because
now?
it's a free
this is
market.
how it is at the
it's
moment.
Not regulated.
Exactly. Yeah, you can do whatever you want, and then create whatever ads you want. If it works, it works. And this is performance marketing. We care about data. We don't care about some crybaby over here at GDC. It's not going to change anything. I'm sorry, mister.
Yeah,
this is how it is.
With all due respect, it's pretty much just how it's going to be. Yeah. If they will actually ban it, and if they would actually ban it, I would guess
they will lose so much money.
But what I'm trying to say is that some kind of a new trick would be then discovered and people would hop on the next bandwagon. That's going to happen anyway.
Of course. Yeah, it's always, I mean...
So this problem is not really game producers' problem. It's more like Facebook's and Google's revenue models basically encourage these types of ads. So the root cause of the problem is not the game makers or Maciej. It's actually, Google and Facebook.
But honestly, if you even want to kind of you set up a policy that you won't do that, you're going to be crushed by the competition and they're going to take your market share. And then so what? You kept your morals and ethics and everything, and your creatives are all true, but there's no revenue.
Exactly, and that's there is one company from Finland which we are going to talk about in April. They said they're going to stay away from fake ads as much as they can. And then what happened? Yeah, well, they closed one game because it wasn't performing that well. Yeah, I think we can move on, and since I really love the Q&A type of our main topic, now we are going to talk about some pre-soft launch activities that I think developers should do before they go to soft launch. And there are some questions they need to ask themselves. So what do they do actually before even going to the development? So now I'm going to ask...
Before creating the game.
Before creating... Of course. But, before. Still, because sometimes what happens is, as you said 2 sessions ago, okay, so this is the game, we are going to clone it, and we are going to make...
at least 1/3 of the money they are making.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's not how it works. So what can we do actually pre-soft launch, guys? Any ideas?
Just to make straight here, you finish the game, it's ready for soft launch, but before you actually put it on the market to test stuff, what should you do?
I think we're still talking about what we do even before start of production here.
Yeah, even before start of the production. Right,
so there's no code done yet. At all.
I'm assuming if you know what you're doing, what you do is you make a bunch of fake ads for your different games that you want to think about what you want to make and the themes, and then you start sending ads to a landing page and see which one converts the best. Because then you don't have to build stuff, right? It's like testing.
Yeah, you want to kind of screen your audiences first. What's the attractiveness of your concept?
Yeah, but that's that's jumping through multiple steps already.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even some other things you can do. So you want to do a new game, so you sit down with your producers, team, and everybody is okay, so now what? So what you should do before everything starts, do the homework. So, market research, try to ask yourself okay, so who is the target audience of the game? Who are we making the game for? What is our unique selling proposition? So you don't create another clone of Clash of Clans or Clash Royale or whatever else, Archero clone. Well, there's a million of them already. What kind of genre you are going to make the game? If this aligns with the company strategy, if you're trying to stay within the same genre and have the genre mastery, or
What's the
what kind of
situation in the
monetization?
current genre?
Well,
That's the important
yeah,
part.
and that as well. Like, what is the monetization strategy? Are going to work more towards the in-app purchases or in-app ads, or both 50-50? And the most important part, like, what is the marketing team capabilities? Are they able to scale this type of game? Do they have experience with this game, for example, this game genre? These very, very important things, because you will make a 4X game and then you find out, well, obviously you already knew that, but your team had only experience with running UA for casual game. And then what? So it's going to be very, very challenging for them if they don't have any experiences with the different genres rather than just with some casual game. So these are like some of the questions. Jakub, is there anything that I actually missed that you would think about?
I would say it always is great if you have people that have done already a game from the same genre that you did already. So you have some kind of genre mastery, or at least you have a person on your team that's been in that genre before. Because if you are just going into like a new genre blindly, it usually never works out. And as I've seen on the market, most successful games are usually the ones that are not inventing something out of nothing. Like, even if we take that Clash of Clans thing, the example that you did there, actually what Supercell did was they improved Backyard Monsters, which was a kick-side game that's pretty much was designed for them, and they were just able to do it properly on mobile and improve upon it. So that's what happened here. And there's numerous examples of these, that you don't really create like the wheel out of nothing. You just, do something really, really good and really, really sophisticated. Let's say a Golf Clash example, where you would take the shard gacha system from Clash Royale and apply it to a different core gameplay and completely different audience. So you don't compete with Clash Royale at all, but you pretty much borrow their expertise, or let's say their progression system, or something similar. Like of course, the example we always use, the Dream Games one. They're scaling, they're going pretty big, but why? Because they have a lot of team members of the original Peak Games team, and they exactly know what to do.
Yeah, well, of course. But there's still, what if you are trying to experiment with the new genre? I mean, you can't just have people experienced enough that are able to help you with the different genres.
It's a chance. It's a chance factor, pretty much. Like, you always need to work under the
ticket.
Yeah, it's a lottery ticket. Always a new free-to-play game, especially, is a lottery ticket. You just increase your chances. Even if you have a super senior team in the same genre, you can still fail spectacularly. Like, I don't see a problem with that. Like,
so how much is skill, and how much is like looking at the data, and how much is just like art, like an artist person who's just good, or is it just luck?
Art, I wouldn't put art into good. Art is usually tested by data, so that is pretty much out of the question. It's more of a, if you know the current pain points of the genre and you can improve upon them. So, like, let me give an example. If you remember how Warner Bros. Want to do Harry Potter Go, the Pokemon clone, like, it was pretty much like out of the question in a way that the gameplay didn't match the experience at all. Like, Harry Potter is not Pokemon.
Because it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and it was more of a, like, I guess it started from this mismatch, but even though they have the infrastructure from Niantic and like all the things, all the stars aligned, really, really heavy, big IP, it still didn't make sense. But I would say that they had a problem with some kind of product person said, like, it won't be a problem, people will still play it like Pokemon.
Let's do it.
So I would say it's pretty much being familiar with the genre and familiar with also players' expectations, because somebody somewhere there definitely said that, like, do you really think that Harry Potter people will play this like Pokemon? And the guy said, like, it doesn't matter probably, or something like that happened.
Yeah, we will slap the IP on the top of the geolocation game, and that's gonna work.
Yeah, it didn't work out.
It works for Pokemon. It will work for us as well. Yeah.
I cannot even imagine the amount of money that was drained down the line there.
It was just one cell in the Excel sheet.
Yeah.
And now nobody cares. Nobody cares anymore. But you could if you had a small company, then you would think twice about making this type of game. But then in the big corporations, they always try to say we do all these homeworks before and market research and everything, but then eventually, all the small companies that, don't have that much money on their bank account, they do it properly, because, if they won't do it, then they will be out of the business very soon. Bigger companies like, yeah, well, okay,
They
so
can-
it
they
didn't
can-
work out.
They can afford to fail, pretty much, the big companies, because
Yeah,
if
yeah,
the game
that's true.
fails, you still put the team in some other different project,
Yeah.
or recycle the capabilities, no problem there. But if it's your startup, or like this is that one shot that you have, that's it. That's one shot, period.
Yeah. Okay, and then question is like, how do you do the market research? What kind of tools you are using, and what do you have in mind that you can use potentially, that it's free out there, or any paid tools as well?
Man, this is
Well,
so
Felix
out of my
looks like
wheelhouse. I
he's-
have
he's
no
thinking.
idea. Like,
Oh, really?
Nice.
I would start probably with even free versions of Penny Sensor Tower, or all these like
You
data
mean
analytics.
data.ai?
Yeah, data AI, sorry. Even free versions are pretty okay, where I remember that you see the grossing charts lines there, even if you have a free account, so you can still kind of validate some of the arguments that like these games are going up or they're going down. At least you see the trend. You don't see the numbers, but you see the trend, so that's good. One of the things I always like to use that's kind of, you would say, trivial, but it's basic Google algorithm. Like if you go into Google Play Store and you Google your competitor, and then you see the recommended games, that can give
Yep.
you already a really, really big direction
that.
in the right way.
I use that when I'm looking at the competitor ads, basically, when I'm trying to do the brainstorming, and I always look at the historical data, but also on the competitor side. And this is how I go about the competition. Like, go to the Google store and then see the recommended games, and then you can see everybody, basically.
Yeah.
That's really good.
So that's one of the other things. And then comes the really, really hard part, where you actually need to play those games and see which ones are actually your direct competition. Because some games, they change the core gameplay, they change the main progression formula. They aren't really your cup of tea, even though they're in the same category. You just need to go through all of them. You can, cut this time down a lot by just going through the gameplay videos on YouTube. Like pretty much every single game out there has this kind of like first 20 minutes tutorial video that somebody did. That there's a lot of those, so you can skip the installing and everything and just go through there, and then you will, at some point, you will start seeing a pattern, and then you follow that pattern and try to look for it in different games, and then see how they solve different problems in your game design, genre feature set that you can apply or use in your current problem.
Yeah, so everything can be found on YouTube, also our podcast as well, so definitely subscribe.
smash the like button.
Exactly. Smash hit the like button, subscribe, and that's going to do the trick. And you will see the Powerpuff Girls as well.
But this is the hardest part. Like, you actually need to play those games and understand their mechanics and systems. There's no way around it.
Yeah, well, that's takes a long time, but it needs to be done. If you want to do it properly, that's something that you need to do.
Because
So,
you need to
you mentioned
you need to find the small bits that are pretty much hidden there. That some of these games have, let's say, done really, really well, or some of these games didn't really went well, and you need to discover why, so you don't repeat the same mistakes. This is the hard part of the homework.
So if I crystallize it down, the first thing is you get like a subscription to Data AI. Look at the like trends. Take 10 of the games from that's like in like circulating that trend, and then play them crazily, like amounts, and then take the things from those games, and then take what you like and what you think would work together, and then kind of mishmatch it together, and that should be your game.
No. That's like a recipe for goulash. It won't work like that. Like, let's take every good bit from every game, and then we'll have this amazing game. No, you're gonna end up with goulash, and it's not gonna taste well.
Game goulash. That sounds good.
No, you need to have your vision, and you need to be, you need to keep the direction on the right track. You know what you're doing, and you need to have some kind of product market fit in your head before this kind of happens.
Yeah, and just take the inspiration from those games. You don't
because
need to
you
use
cannot
everything from
you cannot end up in this like junior loop of I'm adding features to my game based on what I have played in last 2 weeks. That's the worst. Like, that's actually the worst, because it means that you didn't do your homework properly, because you were supposed to see those things before, not each next 2 weeks.
Yeah. And very true. And most important part, I think, that is defining the target audience, because there's a lot of gaming companies that still, they create a game and then ask the marketing managers or UA managers, like, okay, so run the campaigns and find me the audience that liked the game. Like, it's, seriously, like, how?
I know even better. Like, everybody's our audience.
Oh yeah, of course, everybody's going to play the game. Seriously, and this is so wrong on so many levels. And how do you add features in the game when you don't know who are you building the game for? Because that's the goulash you are talking about, right? But there are, again, some mistakes that I think you can see. Like, everybody's talking about, motivations, personas, and whatever else. I mean, yes, it's super useful, but still, if you focus on like one persona and it's going to be
there's going to be that great Venn diagrams that that you draw, and then you just have the small middle part.
Yeah,
that's your audience, the super small niche.
Yeah, super small niche, exactly. And then and even if you see that, you're still approaching or progressing with the game development. Yeah, well, there is a high chance that it's not gonna succeed, because the target audience is really small. So you need to think about opening up a little bit.
Yeah, that's the biggest problem with the whole lottery ticket thing, that you don't know what's your lottery ticket worth until you hit day one retention, which will take you 6, 7, 8 months until you hit that mark, and that's it. And you could be running all the wrong directions until then.
Yeah, but then, you have the playtesting. So as soon as you have the playable or MVP of the game, then you start doing the playtests, right? And then is this something, that helps you, Jakub, to go
of course,
in
it helps
different
you to
directions?
It helps you to mainly fine-tune the FTUE experience, the tutorial and everything. Always, these days, things like Playtest Cloud are really, really easy to use. You can even sort players based on your genre. So actually, it's better to get, scolded on and people pretty much hating your game because they've seen the genre. And those are actually the really valuable feedbacks rather than new ones. But this won't still be the main indicator of your retention, and especially long-term retention. It's more of a you can fine-tune that 15, 20 minutes of experience, and after that you're kind of blind.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say, because usually, you can see a very good stars in this Playtest Cloud, and then you run the campaigns and the first retention is 20%. It's oh wow, but the Playtest Cloud guys, they say it's absolutely amazing game. Why is it not working? Well,
yeah, it's absolutely amazing for 15 minutes, and then
exactly,
it gets boring.
Yeah, exactly. So it's this is very similar to when someone is just looking at one KPI and then not a series of KPIs, because it's okay, so I have really good CPI. It's 15 cents. Okay, so what? I mean, what is the retention? What is the ROAS? There are multiple other questions that you can ask, and then okay, well, the 15 cent CPI is good, but then the retention is 10%. Oh, okay, you're right. Then it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, of course, but you can't just look at the one thing. Same thing with the Playtest Cloud. Okay, and then there's the UA marketing activities that Felix mentioned already at the beginning. So the marketability tests, and this can go wrong again on so many levels, because if, in my opinion, I mean, this can really save you a lot of time in the development, but also can be very tricky, because if you are looking at the wrong data and you don't have the experience with running the marketability test, then it's the same thing that you mentioned, Jakub, when you are working with junior. Then junior is looking 3 steps ahead, senior is looking 10 steps ahead. Here, if junior is running the marketability tests and he or she has no experiences with that, it can be very dangerous for the whole company, because you can be looking at the very wrong data. And you need to keep in mind that these marketability tests are very far from the business as usual campaigns. So, even though Geek Lab and shout out to Jesse, the founder of Geek Lab, you can run the campaigns which are simulating the CPI campaigns, but they are not exactly the CPI campaigns. So even though you can calculate the CPI from these campaigns, it's still landing page view optimized for conversion. So you will see lower CPMs rather than just looking at the CPI campaigns. Lower CPI, even though it's calculated. Be careful, very careful. And then CTR is going to be absolutely amazing. 3%, 5%, 10%. Because it's a landing page view, it's not optimized for mobile app installs, or even for purchases, or even for value. It's going to be very different. So using marketability tests as a directional thing for your game, that's very good. If you just base guidance, directional guidance. If you base your all the decisions just based on the data you see, it can go very wrong. But it's still a very good tool.
Should you skip this step then? Because you sound very negative.
No.
Negative.
No, it's I just
you need to do this step, but then it means you cannot just take it for granted.
And just, because then
we're saved. Whatever we do doesn't matter. We have super good CPIs, and the metrics will be.
You will see really low CPIs with this test. And first, again, like I said, it's calculated from conversion. It can be similar, but it's still not the same thing. Then you run the actual CPI campaigns after you produce the game, and then see, but why we see 3 times higher CPIs than what we saw in the marketability test? Oh, well, hello, of course, because it's a very different optimization. Oh, but the CTRs are lower as well. Oh, yeah, of course. Who would say that? No shit, Sherlock.
And is it always within a band of percentages? So you can kind of factor it in when you do your calculations and look at the data. So you to decrease CTR by X%, or
I compared these type of results when I ran the marketability tests some time ago, and the CPIs I got from the marketability tests were 2 or 2.5 times actually lower than the real ones. So everything that you see in the marketability test, then multiply by 3 the CPI, and then
you're good to go.
And you're good to go. For that's only for CPI campaign. Not even talking about purchase campaigns or any app event optimized campaigns. It's going to be way different. But still, you are trying to get as much data as possible as early as possible, and this is going to be very helpful. But it can go wrong when you don't have the right person to do it.
We're back at the lottery ticket theory. What are we doing? We're just increasing the chances. There's no guarantee. There's no guarantee at all along this whole way, ever.
Yeah.
And there's never gonna be.
Yeah, but the nice thing about this is, you can use Facebook. And now IronSource even a couple of days ago announced the marketability test tool, which is nice. You need to take a look at that. You're using the fake store pages, which is, using the exactly Apple or Google Play looking at a store page, which is fake. Everybody that clicks on the download button, they will get the pop-up. This game is not available yet. Please leave us an email, and we will hit you up when it's live. Or you can actually use a player survey at the end, so you can ask questions. So, what questions to ask, Mr. Game Designer over here? Yeah,
I would say it's mainly based on the expectations of the players that you're talking about, and you want to make sure that the things that you are talking about and pretty much confirm or validate your points that you are running through. So I would say definitely try to ask about the product fit. And
give me an example, Mr. Game Designer.
Let's say, what would you expect to see in this game? Or pretty much some kind of. It's always best to do nice open questions rather than suggestive ones. So don't do suggestive questions, of course. You just can skew your results. And then maybe even try to look a little bit more into the audience themselves. Do you play mobile games? Do you have purchased anything at all in the mobile game before? Some kind of a screening on the audience. So descriptive questions this way, I would say.
Yeah, this can help. there are still
It's a guidance, nothing else.
yeah, exactly. That it's a guidance. So some companies take these marketability tests like this is exactly what we are expecting. This is how it's going to be. Nope, it's not going to happen, and that's what's dangerous. Because then you can hear a lot of people discussing, oh well, we are doing marketability tests, so it's perfect. Everybody should do that. And then when they see the first data, they are very disappointed because it's something else than they expected. But you can test whatever you like: characters, visual themes, the setting, and whatever. And then you can actually end up with the highest chance of success when testing like multiple things.
Yeah, but still
again,
highest chance of success. There's no guarantee, exactly.
There's no guarantee. So yeah, I know I sound very negative, but actually,
I was just gonna say you sound like Remo.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's my post.
Yeah, no. I really like to do this, but it needs to be done properly, and it's again directional guidance, not something that you need to take very seriously. Because usually when companies try to do this, they use only like one idea. No, you should think about like 3 different ideas, and then this will tell you like which way to go. So you will test 3 different visual designs: cartoon, realistic, or whatever else. Doesn't matter. You will see that with your target audience, the cartoon works the best. Okay, so now, what kind of characters should I use? Female, male, long hair, short hair, whatever. Then
or no characters at all.
Or no characters at all. Yeah, exactly. Then you will see which way to go again, and then this, trying to narrow it down afterwards.
It's always an iterative process, pretty much, and you try to be as fast as possible. That's like one of the good qualities that you need to hit is that the frequency of these iterative updates needs to go up, or at least be very, very frequent. That's the whole thing. Like, pretty much back to the lottery ticket theory, it's more about like how many shots you can make rather than to aim precisely.
Well,
so it's pretty much like hyper casual. This is what they're exceptionally good at compared to like casual to hardcore
hyper
studios.
Casual is this lottery ticket theory on steroids.
Yeah.
Exactly. And because it's way easier to do marketability tests with hyper casual game when you create a video easily because you just show the game mechanics in the video and that's it. That's the whole game. When you are, compared to strategy game or casual game, it takes time to create the video, so you might just use static images only to save time and resources, which again can be, slightly far from the reality afterwards, but at least again it shows you the way to go.
Yeah, but with hyper casual, creative is the actual gameplay itself. There's no, there's usually not a difference. Like you don't run fake ads for hyper casual. So you run the actual gameplay video. That is the creative. And just by, I remember like people saying from hyper casual genre that just by changing the visuals of that creative, they were able to tone down the CPI to a manageable level, and then they were able to scale the game. That's it. That's how it works, even though the mechanic was pretty much the same.
Yeah. Well, you look a bit confused
or scared,
Felix.
I would say.
Or scared, yeah, Felix.
She's so like Admon, I'm the cherry on top. Like that's what I deliver. Sometimes a cherry can grow to an apple, but like I don't have a dog in this game. Like,
yeah,
okay.
You never get.
I've heard about it, but
there.
like, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think in that case, I think that's it, right?
Yeah.
It was pretty fun again.
Yeah. Good luck with your soft launches. Hope they will go well. We'll
Moral
see you
of the story.
at the
Get a job in Admon.
Oh my God! Okay, that was a really nice ending. Thank you very much, guys. Until
you
next
next week.
time.
See ya.
Bye. Very exciting. Very exciting. I can't wait. Okay, so I need to add this one last news to the agenda because that's what we do now. All right. 4 a.m. Again, conversion. Why the fuck I'm saying always conversion?